Likutei Moharan. The shir today is Yud Gimel Av. This is the yortzeit of my mother, Aleh Sholem, Sonia Bas Yechiel Meir. She was called Jenny, and some say that perhaps her name was Sarah. We don't know about that. What we know is Sonia Bas Yechiel Meir. All the limud today will be Ilui Nishmas. Okay. So we are learning Torah tests. In Torah tests we said it's through Lashon Kodesh the Kodesh Baruch Hu has elevated us over all the other Lashonos. That every single Lashon, every single nation has a midra, has something like bad traits, and has a chizah. It falls down, it crumbles down through Lashon Kodesh. When Lashon Kodesh is exercised properly, b'diburim tovim, it's very to do with diburim tovim, staying away from bad diburim. Then he is zocher to break down the types of the ummahs that have no control over Israel. That's Lashon, Nofel Lashon. Lashon means that it rhymes, but actually, here it is. Language falls on language, which means that it's a seesaw principle. Whereas when the Lashon Kodesh elevates the Lashonos Ha'akum, the spiritual principles that are guiding them, the midah that they have, falls down. And not only that the specific Ra of every Ummah falls down, every nation falls down, Ra Koilel, as they used to say in Golden Ring, in one ring to bind them all. They have one single Ra, one single evil that binds all the types together, that combines all the types together. That all the bad attributes of all the 70 nations are included in it. Hainu Taveras Hamedurash Atavis Niyuf. That's the burning of the flame of the taiva for niyuf, for fornication, for misbehavior in those in Yom. All the 70 nations, each one has his own specialty. One is a ganav, one is a retzayach, one is a liar, one is a defrauder. Each one has his own specific, creme de la creme, with which he's so special than anybody else. But there's one taiva that combines all of them together. That's that particular taiva. All the taivas of all the ummas, they are getting together, and together taiva is something that burns. So that it creates a huge flame. And that flame, that's the thing that inflames a person to taiva snif. Zohar Kodesh says that, Etz Chaim says that. And also this particular bonfire, so to speak, of Tavis Niyuf, Noifer and Isbartal, the Eino Shlita, and it does not have control, Alidei Lashon Kodesh, when Lashon Kodesh overcomes. Zeh B'chinas Medura Shel Shivim Koichovim. That is the flame of 70 stars. Nizka B'Zohar Kodesh, that is mentioned in the Zohar Kodesh. Hainu Hara Koilel, that is the overriding evil. Shehu Taveras Hamedura Shel Tavas Niyuf. That is the burning of the bonfire of the passion for fornication. Shekol Hashivim Umas Klulim Boy. All the 70 nations are combined in it, which means the 70 stars that we're talking about are the 70 heavenly ministers in Shamayim, that each one is a memuna, is appointed over a specific nation. Because we need to understand, to be mekar this in the seichel, that the angels, as we said quite a few times, any angel, we're talking about heavenly ministers, we're talking about angels that have a specific hismanos, have a specific appointment. An angel is a principle, certain principle. That principle, when it is connected with the name of Hashem, it is alive. You know? Because the name of Hashem is alive in everything. That's why when you see all the names of all the angels, one way or another they have a name of Hashem, either explicitly or in gematria or whatever it is, it's in there together with other combinations of letters which are the principle. The malachim that have to do, the angels that have to do with this world, they're mostly physical principles. The natural principle. You know, the global warming. Right? Global warming, there's a principle behind this. When the name of Hashem is connected to that particular principle, it is an effect. The name of Hashem leaves it, it's not an effect. We said it once before, that a few times before, knowing me, recycling, there is Ruach Se'ora Oiseh Dvorei. That the storm wind does what Hashem says. Se'ora is made out of Samachei, in the beginning, in the end. The first letter is Samach, the last letter is Hey. In the middle is the Osius Ra, bad, Ein Resh. Samachei is gematria of the Shem Adnei. All of that moved together is 65. Samachei. So when the Ra, the specific combination of Ein Resh, when the Ra is verkehrt, the Ein is like this. When it's enveloped, when it's connected with Hashem Hashem, there's storm wind, there's typhoon, there's hurricane, there's whatever it is. When Hashem is separated from the vacuum solid moment. Vuaso osa dvaroi, dafka the dibur, because Adnei is the name of the Malchus. We say Adnei is Fatay Tiftach, right? It's the dibur. Vuaso osa dvara, the dibur. The Adnei is the thing that makes us oracles. So here we're talking about 70 heavenly principles, malachim, that have the name of Hashem combined in them so they become alive. The Havdil, when you take a cell phone, so you have a physical entity, electricity going through it. Once electricity goes through it, the phone does whatever it is that the phone is doing. But when the electricity is Hashem himself, next thing is alive. These are the 70 angels, the 70 Kechavim, 70 ministers are the memonim of every single nation. Zeh b'chines, what Yecheskel saw the Chashmal, in the famous Nevuah, Perek Aleph, Yecheskel, the vision of the chariot, famous vision of the chariot. He said, Ruach Sa'ara, saw a storm wind, the Onan Godel, a great cloud, the Esh Mislakachas, and a self-taking fire. The noiga of Savi, when there's noiga, there's a glow all around it. Umisoicha, and from the inside, kehei chashmal. Something like that looks like the chashmal. Misoicha esh, from inside the fire. And Chazal said, what is chashmal? Today we call it electricity. We call electricity chashmal, which is cute because that's, okay, so they took it, so they decided they're going to call this, which is cute. But that's not what chashmal is. Chashmal is not electricity. You can understand where the mistake comes from. It was also a deliberate mistake. Because they wanted to expunge the Lashon Kodesh. They wanted to do the Ivrit, take out Lashon Kodesh. There are various words in Ivrit. Not necessarily. Chashmal it comes from two words. It's called Chayos Esh Memalalos. It means a talking, living, living entities of fire. So you can understand why they connected it to electricity dafka. In other words, Cheskel Hanavi saw in the upper world that he saw aspects which is called Chayos Esh, means entities of fire. And these entities are talking, and fire comes from their talk, from their speech. It's a very curious word because chash, from chashmal, chayot esh is chash, mal is memalalo, is milul, is dibur in Aramaic. Interesting, chash means silent. Chash. Mal means talking. So we're talking about a realm of talking silence. When we leave the physical realm, Rabbi Kaplan explains it at great length. When you leave the physical realm in which we are hardwired to see with our eyes and hear with our ears and speak with our mouths, you get to levels where you can hear the sounds. Am Yisrael were in the Midbar, which Baruch gave the Torah, and all the people and all the nation, they see the sounds, which means there is a level where sound can be seen. Moshe Rabbeinu heard with his dibur. Now, how can you hear with the dibur? The divinity is speaking out of the mouth of Moshe Rabbeinu. This is also a certain apchina of chashmal, because to listen, you have to be quiet, right? You have to receive. To speak, you have to emit sound. So speaking silence in a certain way is Vashchina Medaberes V'Gon Moshe. We're talking about how Moshe is hardwired completely different than any other human being. All the way up to the last chapter of Sefer Dvarim. Then, because it's his last day, he descends into the level of Adon Nevi'im. Then suddenly he starts talking with symbols, and until then it's Hashem said so, Pashut. It's a straight communication. At the very end, he speaks like all the other Nevi'im are speaking. That's because he loses that particular bechina. So chashmal, chayes, esh memalalos at a certain level is a talking silence. When a person is going into a prophetic state. And it's not just when he is actually prophesying, but when a person goes into Avodas Hashem and is going to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has to go through the Ruach Se'ara, the Onan Godol, the self-taking fire, and the Noigo, and the Chashma. First of all, there is so many different things in your life that just absolutely drive you crazy. And this one gets you crazy, and this one gets you crazy, and you become angry, and you become this, and you become that, and you have all kind of obstacles, or manias, or whatever it is. This is the first klipa that you have to go through. It's called Ruach Se'ara. Then, but nevertheless, you have friends, you have this enthusiasm of a beginner and everything, and you go through it. And then you come into an Olam Godol. Olam Godol is darkness. It's a horrible feeling of loneliness. You feel like nobody's listening to you. You're going to make his Beredus, and you know, am I talking to the wall? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm talking to anybody. I don't have any friends anymore. Nobody's listening to me. I'm no longer part of the crowd. I don't sit and chug down beers, over the barbecue with the Super Bowl. It doesn't interest me anymore. And the people that are over there, they talk about the language I don't even understand b'chlal. And all together, I'm just all alone. And I feel like Hashem is not even listening to me. And this is another klipa, second klipa of Onan Godol. Onan Godol. Nevertheless, it's a feeling of nothingness. But nothingness is not emptiness. Nothingness is that I don't perceive anything. Empty, there's nothing there. Nothingness means that I perceive nothing. But it's a very pregnant nothing. Elaborate. It's pregnant with possibilities. It's a klipa, it's a barrier. But you're there. You're talking to Hashem. Maybe you fall down, you get up again. Some days, it makes it 5 minutes, and then you come back. It's there. It's like lahavdil elf $5. You go to a class in university, and they're speaking nuclear physics, okay? You understand nothing. In that particular case, there might be also that there's emptiness, but the fact that you understand nothing doesn't mean that there's nothing there. It means that you understand nothing. When it comes to Ruchnius, you understand nothing, you see nothing, you feel nothing. Because when you're coming into Avodas Hashem, and you, me, we're coming into it with our physical tool that we're used to using in our day-to-day lives in this world as human beings. Feelings, we're feeling good, we're feeling bad, we're feeling ominous, we're feeling happy, You know, it's just like it's all. Or maybe use our minds. Our minds understand it. They can envelop the issue. They cannot envelop the issue. Then we don't understand it. But when things happen beyond our tools, okay? When you take a plastic spoon and you're trying to touch a thought, let me tell you something. It's like, you want to come, you want to talk to the Baruch Hu, you want to use what you're used to using. You're feeling, you feel you're heard, you feel you're not heard, you feel you're satisfied, you feel you're not satisfied. And he said, what do you feel? You feel empty. Because you're coming into a realm where the language is totally different. And what you need to do is you need to break through this barrier of unangoda. You feel alone, you feel misunderstood, your wife is screaming at you. Why is everybody staying below the house and you're the one who gets up and goes, oh, whatever. You're all alone, you have nobody to talk to. It's like a... So why are you talking out of your mouth? Because that's what you do. Yishmael created the dibur. The dibur, when it has emes in it, is lashon kodesh. With this, you crack the second klipa of unangoda. Okay, once you do that, comes self-taking fire. Ooh, the taivas are coming. Oh man, do they ever. And the taivas are coming into you and they're telling you that's the last ditch effort that Yetzirah was trying to keep you on his side. And he's coming to you, man, and he's coming to you like, I'll give you everything. I'm what you want. I'm what you always wanted. It's going to be so beautiful. All your dreams are going to come true. You know, everybody thought that you were nothing. I'm going to make you everything. You know, I think you're ugly. I'm going to make you beautiful. You thought that nobody's going to look at you. Everybody's going to look at you. It's going to be so... and you go crazy, and you go absolutely nuts. Sometimes, some people can find themselves, especially when they're younger, like in their 30s, 20s is a bit young, but 30s and 40s, of course. Suddenly, there's a neighbor that gets into their head, and that's it. And you don't know what to do. I mean, that particular person, that's supposed to be your wife or your husband or whatever it is. You're married to the wrong person, and you start looking at your spouse, and he or she has everything wrong with her, or him, from top to bottom. And this one, especially if he or she's not married, is divorced, forget about it. The Cleveland is like, oh man, his life is going to be so beautiful. Life is going to be like so beautiful. Self-taking fire. The only thing that you need to do is wait it out.
Silent speech? Silent speech.
No, we're not the chashmal yet. We're not up to chashmal yet. Now you're in Taivas. No, you have to talk. Because usually it's Taivas Sniff, and other Taivas, whatever, you have to talk. Everything is, all the fires are quenched, are put out with talk, with the waters of talking. Tefillah. Tefillah goes through the whole thing. Tefillah is the answer for everything.
Didn't you tell me once that a person is going through...
When he's overwhelmed. When a person is overwhelmed, then keep quiet, yes.
right? When a person is
No.
overcome.
No.
Okay.
Overwhelmed means that you're losing your morals.
Yeah.
But Taivas is tefillah. The loneliness of Anon Gadol is tefillah. Even Ruach Sa'or is also tefillah. Everything is tefillah. Then you go in Nogel Asavim. Then you go to an area where you go into Mitzias, which is mixed good and bad together, which is Nogel. And you're already into the avodah of Birurin. Right now, until now, you were just busy to get out of bed. Now, you step onto the court. Now, you're in the game. You can't score unless you're in the game. The game is good and bad. Good and bad is separation of good and bad. And then you're getting into the Yin of Chashma. Chayos Esh Nemalchus. And what's alluded to in this is Chayos Esh. Chayos is Pchinos Chavo Isho. Chayos Esh, Chavo Isho. The letters. Chayos is the Lashon Chava, and Esh is the Shon Isho, which means Lashon Kodesh. Guard the Dibur. Be very careful with the Dibur. Person needs to learn Ilchos, Lashon Hara, Shmiras Lashon every single day. A little bit. You can go to Chofetz Chaim Heritage Organization. You sign up for a daily shir. They send it to you by mail every day. It takes seconds. You learn Lashon Hara, Rechilas, the whole thing. And you keep it. When you learn it, you keep it. And it says the Chava is the Dibur, and he talks about the Dibur of Lashon Kodesh. And that's what we say, B'malalois, talking. Shalodoi B'smalel o Mishtaber Esha Miduro Shashem Kocholim. Through Lashon Kodesh lashes out, breaks down the bonfire of the 70 stars. That's the flame of Taivas Niyuf. Because Melilo is not only Lashon Dibur, it's also Lashon of breaking down. As the Gemara says, Gemara Beitza, Mola Melilo is when you're taking a wheat, they said on Shabbos, you know to be boyer, right? You know to separate the chaff from the kernel, right? So what you're allowed to do is Yamoilel v'oichel. You hold it in your fingertips, and you go like this, and then you can eat it directly. But it's Zachon al-Achila immediately. There's no way to eat it without breaking the thing like this. That thing that you're doing, what is it doing? It's breaking the chaff, right? This is melilas, melilas. It's breaking down melilas. Lashon Kodesh is moilel. It breaks down the Taivas Niyuf. Now the Cheskel Novi saw Ruach Sa'ora. He saw a storm wind and a great cloud and a self-taking fire, which is the big flame of Taivas Niyuf that absolutely storms up and darkens and inflames the body of a person. And from inside that, he saw Mein Chashma. In other words, the Dibur, the hiding the Dibur Lashon Kodesh, which breaks down the Taivas Niyuf. And this Zeh Bechinas Mal, Mem Lamed, is Gematria how much? Mem is 40, Lamed is 30, is 70. Malcham Chashma, this is Medura Shel Shivim Kechovim, 70 stars. Mem Lamed. Because Mal Gematria Shivim, that is Nismalel and Nisbatel al Dei Lashon Kodesh. it's ground out and it is eradicated through Lashon Kodesh. This is why it's called Lashon Kodesh. Because Chazal said, "Kol mokom shata moitze goder ervo." Every place that you see a fencing out, a boxing out of erva, of sexual impropriety, at kedusha you find kedusha. Every place it says in the Torah about the forbidding, the isur of the prohibition of arayos, it says Lashon kedusha. It says kedusha, you should be holy. Because anybody who fences himself away from sexual impropriety is called kodesh, it's called holy. That's Lashon Kodesh, through which Taivas Niyuf is eradicated, is called Lashon Kodesh, because it is through this Lashon that you are zoicha to kedusha, that you are zoicha to sanctify yourself. Up to now for the day.